at the beginning of year 3 of Creative Living with Jamie, and I can barely believe it. Thank you so much to everyone who sent their love and well wishes for the pot anniversary. You made it an incredible celebration, and I am so grateful. But you know what's weird here at the beginning of year 3? After all that celebration, I started to feel a little hesitant about starting the next year. Like, oh my gosh, I really love this show. What if I mess it up? You know, what if I try something new, or I get it wrong, or I'm less inspired or inspiring this year? What if I look pulled down? Do you ever get that feeling? Like sometimes it feels like it would just be easier when something's going well to kind of tie it up with a bow and walk away. That way you couldn't mess it up. When I was thinking about this, I kept thinking about M. Night Shyamalan. What if he had stopped making movies after Signs? I know some of you will say after The Sixth Sense, but I love Signs. And actually, truthfully, I'm pretty soft on most of his movies, but you get my point, right? Somehow thinking about Mr. Shyamalan helps me open my heart and celebrate the courage of sticking with it.
Okay, what I'm doing is I had another material that I did not want to throw away. They're bags that I use for putting my paint in so that my paint doesn't dry out, and they're just Ziploc bags. But I noticed that when I took the paint out of the Ziploc bags, it let kind of, you know, just the paint was all messy inside the bag, and, you know, I really couldn't use it again. So I thought, well, what am I going to do with these bags? So what I did is I decided to use them as a material to create another surface to make something. I am in the process of trying to figure out some surfaces for another project I'm working on, which are earrings. I'd like to make recycled earrings. These are actual recycled earrings that I made out of styrofoam. I'm not really sure if you see them really well, but I'll post them later. They're actually made out of styrofoam. So I'd really like to make some more earrings that are based on the idea of recycled materials. So I decided to use layered plastic. Now, what I did to start with, which was experimenting, was I glued the plastic together with paint, and that didn't really work that well. It's too thick and it's still kind of gooey inside. So what I may do is just kind of put it outside and let it dry and get really, 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 really hard, and then possibly use it for a material. But I really wasn't too pleased with this idea. But I did take and sandwich plastic together using an iron, and I thought that was an interesting technique. What I did is I used the plastic, and then I just sandwiched 3 or 4 different sheets of plastic together using a heated iron, and that really worked well. It created a bond, and now I know that I can actually paint the plastic, plastic sheets. I can collage tissue paper. I actually put some tissue paper in here too. I collaged, put some fabric inside the sandwich. I also put some metallic paint over some of the surfaces, and even using the iron made this really interesting kind of a wrinkled surface that I might actually use in my jewelry pieces that I'm going to be doing. The next thing I did was I experimented with taking the plastic, and what I did first of all is I used the surface that I painted on as the back, and then I painted metallic paint over the plastic sheet, and then I stamped onto it too. So This is interesting because what it does is it creates a layered effect where the stamping actually shows through. Again, I'm going to post these sheets, but you can see how the stamps actually show through the plastic sheet when you layer the sheets together with the iron. So there's tissue paper under here, and there's also the back is just made out of the painted plastic that I painted originally. I put it outside to make it, like really, so it was really dry before I did the next part of the process, which was layering the stamped plastic over it. Now, what I'm going to do with these, oh, here's another one. This is interesting. This is one really interesting because when you paint over the plastic, it actually does create an interesting spider web effect because of the relief that's created from the plastic and the paint. I think that's what that's caused from, but I think it's neat. And then this is that silk that I had dyed originally with the Kool-Aid. I actually am using some of the silk that's sandwiched in between the plastic. So what I'm probably going to do is cut the shapes out of these sheets, and once I cut the shapes out, I'm going to probably put resin over them and make them very, very glass-like. So when they're done, the idea is when they're done, they're actually going to look like glass when I'm finished with this. But certainly they'll be interesting. And this is the base for my earrings. And anyway, I'm just kind of experimenting with the plastic because, again, it's not something that I wanted to throw away, and I decided to go ahead and use it for my surface. So that's the first thing that I'm going to be doing. The next thing I'm going to be doing is creating surfaces using the styrofoam, and this is the very thick styrofoam that I'm going to be using for surfaces. I may collage things onto the surface before I put the resin over it, but I'm going to be making this into a pair of earrings. So I will be checking in and showing what I'm doing. This is interesting too. This is actually oil paint that's over styrofoam, so this will make some really cool earrings. And what I may do also is I may collage onto this as well. And I don't know, I may actually just leave it the way it is because it's really neat. But anyway, these are surfaces for my next project, which are the earrings. And I'm just experimenting with different things to create the earrings. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing. So I'll be checking back on the process and showing you the continuation of it. I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.